So good morning all. The teaching module or session for today's SimMom session is breech presentation. So we all are aware that breech presentation is a high risk pregnancy because it is associated with more of fetal trauma during labor, right? And the perinatal morbidity is little more than the normal vertex presentation. So we all, as an obstetrician, should be aware of managing the breech presentation in labor, right? Most of the breech presentations are having some or the other high risk factor, and then many of them in today's obstetrics might go for cesarean section, right? But every obstetrician should be aware of managing breech in labor, those who are low risk, right? Now, what is the commonest cause of breech presentation? The commonest cause of breech presentation is prematurity, right? Then in obstetrics, as we always divide the causes can be divided into maternal, fetal, related to amniotic fluid, related to placenta, right? So maternal may can be she has some uterine anomaly, she has contracted pelvis, so the heavy part of head it cannot accommodate in the pelvis, or so the baby takes the shape which it can adjust to the contour of uterus or the pelvis. Then coming to fetal part, so fetus then can be hydrocephalus or there can be anencephalus, like that. So amniotic fluid could be more or less. So oligo and poly. So obstetrics is not difficult, right? These are common divisions which you all should be able to enumerate. And the last one is placenta. Placenta, if the placenta is low lying, then the chances of breech presentation are huge, right? These are commonest ones. But above all that is going to be prematurity. That means what? A patient, you take 100 patients who are 36 weeks and 100 patients who are 32 weeks, right? So obviously at 32 weeks, almost 70-80% might be reached at that particular moment because it keeps on moving, right? So this is about the causes of breech presentation, right? Now, what is a complicated breech? A complicated breech is whenever you have another maternal or fetal high risk factor along with breech presentation, it is called as complicated breech. Means what? A breech with preeclampsia, a breech with cardiac disease in the mother, breech with severe anemia, breech with severe oligohydramnios. So these all become complicated breech. So they have some or the other high risk factor. And such feti are little high risk to be given trial of vaginal delivery, right? Now coming to the types of breech. So we all know it's a complete breech or incomplete breech depending upon the attitude of the fetus. So what do you mean by attitude? Attitude is the relationship of different body parts with each other, fetal parts, right? So if it's a complete flexion, all joints are flexed on each other, it becomes a complete breech. When one of the joints is not flexed, it is incomplete. So we have a frank breech, footling, kneeling, like that. So the best breech for trial of delivery or which will have successful vaginal delivery is a frank breech, because it has, two limbs are extended like this. The hips are flexed, but the knees are extended, and the breech itself, the buttocks, they act as good cervical dilator, just like head. Right? If it is a footling, there is no ball and valve like action, right? So a complete breech, or for that matter, better is frank breech for trial of labor. Now, if you have, how do you decide that this patient can be given trial of labor? So there are certain scoring systems which are available. So what all points they have taken into consideration? Number one, whether the patient is primary or a multi. So multigravidas who have had previous breech delivery, pelvis, which is very good. There is a history of, the weight of this baby. The weight of baby is more than 3 kg. Think twice before giving her trial of labor, right? So all these factors are taken into account, right? Then there are 3 ways in which you can deliver the breech vaginally. One is sure cesarean section, which most of the today's obstetricians are doing, right? But vaginally, if you've decided that this patient can be given trial of labor, there is no high risk factor. All these scoring systems are showing that it is favorable to, you can give her a trial of labor, right? So there are 3 types in which it can be delivered. One is a spontaneous breech delivery, assisted vaginal breech delivery, and breech extraction, right? Now, what is a spontaneous breech delivery? Means you are not doing anything. She's lying down like this, and everything, all the fetus, every part of fetus comes out on its own. So is it possible in today's obstetrics to deliver a patient like this? No. So such deliveries generally happen in ambulance, in car, on the way, or at home. Right? Precipitate जब होता है, बहुत premature जब रहता है, तो these are all spontaneous breech delivery. Right? Then the second variety is assisted breech delivery. Right? Assisted means some part the fetus and the mother, it is happening on its own, and some part you are assisting. But then you are not pulling anything. Right? So you are just assisting. So at what part you start? You start monitoring right throughout the labor from first stage. But the active intervention of touching and giving help to the fetus or assistance starts after the umbilicus of baby's is delivered. So till the umbilicus or abdomen of the baby is delivered, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to monitor and observe, right? Unless there is a cord prolapse or something you see you want to help. Otherwise, you're not going to do much, right? So after that, all those procedures which you do on the shoulders, on the head, they are all assisted breech delivery. Now the third variety is breech extraction. Means what? The entire breech or the entire fetus is above pelvic brim. It has not come down only, right? So then you are going to put your hand inside and extract the baby. So can you do it in labor room? Such a maneuver? No. So it is always done in OT, right? So breech extractions are done. They are going to be traumatic to the fetus. So generally they are done in emergency situation, right? So it can be done for an IUD baby where cervix is fully dilated and you want to just help and avoid cesarean section, right? Or it can be done, it used to be done in twin delivery when the second baby was transverse and cord prolapse happened, and now you want to quickly deliver the baby. But in today's world or today's obstetrics, if baby is transverse in the second of the twins, and if it is a healthy baby, and unnecessary, you would not like to do a extraction and traumatize the baby, right? So if it's a small, 800 grams, 700 grams, it's fine. But say if it's an IVF baby, twin babies, and you don't want to do all these things, jugglery and all these things. You have to have expertise, and you want to decide for that particular patient whether you would like to do this maneuver or not. So in today's modern obstetrics, what we do is assisted vaginal breech delivery, right? So now let us focus on the breech presentation. So madam has already put the baby in breech presentation, right? Let's just like this. Yeah. As you can see, this is the abdomen of the mother, right? This is the head of the fetus. So this is the cephalic pole and this is the podalic pole. So in breech presentation, what you have is a cephalic pole is in the fundus and the podalic pole is in the lower uterine segment, right? So this is about how the poles of fetus are. So the fetus is in the longitudinal line, podalic presentation, breech as the presenting part. Podalic presentation can have knee as the presenting part, foot as the presenting part, breech as the presenting part. So every word is important. When you say podalic, it is just the presentation, the lower part, right? Then the presenting part is specific on that, like cephalic presentation, vertex is the presenting part, right? So longitudinal line, podalic presentation, then breech as the presenting part. In an attitude of flexion, it is going to be the buttocks, the genitalia, and both the feet. Incomplete, right? In incomplete, three varieties: prank, putling, and the kneeling, right? Common is prank. In prank, it is only the buttocks and the anal area, right? So this is how the different presenting parts are going to be. The denominator in breech presentation is sacrum, right? Or the coccyx, the lower part of it. Then the engaging diameter is there are two engaging diameters. Always remember, there is one engaging diameter which is described for the fetal part, and there is one engaging diameter which is described for the female pelvis, the mother's pelvis, right? So diameters of engagement are both for mother and fetus. So in vertex presentation, it is the suboccipito bregmatic, right? for vertex presentation, but it engages in left occipital anterior position. It will engage in the right oblique diameter of maternal inlet. Similarly, इसका जैसे उसमें बोलते हैं हम लोग कि लेफ्ट ऑक्सीपिटो एंटीरियर पोजीशन है ना. इफ आई पुट इट उल्टा, द राइट ऑब्लिक डायमीटर में वो एंगेज होता है. ब्रीच में वैसा नहीं, जिसमें हो रहा है उसी में एंगेज हो रहा है. अगर लेफ्ट बोल रही हूँ, लेफ्ट सैक्रो निकाल नहीं पाएंगे ना अभी. बेसिकली ये सैक्रो पोस्टीरियर है अभी. ये ऐसा है, समझ लो उल्टा. अगर इसे घुमा देते हैं, दिस इज बाइट्रोकेंट्रिक. सो ये तो राइट ऑब्लिक में ही आएगा जैसे सेफेलिक में था, बट जब ये हेड एंगेज होता है ना, हेड वाला जो रहता है वो हेड अपोजिट में चला जाता है आफ्टर कमिंग हेड का. दैट विल टीच लेटर ऑन. So the engaging diameter whenever you describe any labor are for head and female inlet pelvis, right? So in a longitudinal line, then podalic presentation with breech, this thing, right? And this is like prime breech now, right? Pause it. So whenever arrange. Yeah. So whenever you manage the patient in labor, say to it that you follow certain principles. So few of the principles are that never pull from will. So the certain principles which you need to follow are that never pull from below, always tell her to push from above, right? Always keep back of the baby anterior, facing the ceiling, right? It should not go down. The whole concept is to keep the flexion of the head maintained. If you take it down, the head will extend like this. You don't want that thing to happen. So the back has to be, so if the back comes out like on this side or this side, just rotate the baby and get the back anterior, right? Never be in hurry to pull the baby out. What happens most of the time when we are new, we just get panicky, and when we see two limbs are hanging like this, and you want to just pull out the baby fast. You can have almost 6 to 8 minutes from the delivery of breech to the delivery of head, and 8 minutes is a significantly long time, right? And breech babies generally take little longer time to come. Now, as you can see here, this is called as, the way you have crowning in cephalic presentation or vertex, this is called as climbing. So the breech is climbing on the vulva, right? So this is the time in which you can give episiotomy, right? So you are going to wait and watch till the breech comes out, and both limbs are delivered, lower limbs, and then you are going to wait till the umbilicus is seen. For breech presentation, you have to get the patient to the edge of the table, preferably, right? So that baby, you can do all those maneuvers if required. Otherwise, in normal labor, you can deliver the patient in, every time in normal labor, patient need not be in lithotomy position. She can be in left lateral, she can be, in straight position also. That is called as dorsal lithotomy. Where dorsal position, where only the limbs can be, without hanging them and abducting them too much, you can deliver them like that, right? But for certain maneuvers which you have to do, you get the patient on the edge of the patient table and deliver this thing. It becomes easier for you, when you do the maneuvers on the aftercoming head of breech, you may have to hang the baby on its weight. So the patient has to be on the edge of the table, right? So now we will wait for the next contraction to come, right? So these are the two buttocks which you can see here. So in next 2 or 3 contractions, maybe the breech will come out, right? There has to be good power. What are the 3 P's of labor? Passage, power, and passenger, right? So passage is pelvis and the soft tissues. Number 1, bony pelvis and soft tissues, right? Then coming to, so this is how, see, I will need one assistant. So now the breech has come out. Can you see now the back is here? So my purpose is first to deliver both the limbs and then get, anyhow the back has to be taken anteriorly. I will not allow this back to go down, right? So with this now, what I'm going to do, cover the baby with a warm towel so that, and this umbilical cord will be here, which I'm going to loosen so that it doesn't get compressed. So then after this, the assistant starts. So what I can do, I can hold the baby on my forearm like this, right? Right? If I cover, you will not be able to see. So get the back anteriorly, rotate the baby, right? And let the baby be supported on your forearm, non-dominant forearm, right? And then one limb you are going to deliver, another limb, upper limb you are going to deliver. So the baby is now nicely resting on my hand. Now there are, what remains now? The aftercoming head, right? The cord, umbilical cord also has to be torn, has to be loosened, right? Now there are three methods by which you can deliver the aftercoming head. There is a Crystallard's method, then there is a Burn-Marshall's method, and then there is a Mauricio-Smiley-Witt. Crystallard's method is nothing but, which are all PGs and everybody loves to do it, is a fundal pressure, right? Which is actually not recommended. Wherein the fundus, after so much baby has come out, fundus is somewhere here. It's not there now. It is here. So you will just press here or maybe here and then try to deliver the baby out, right? But it is not recommended now. So you just push and it should come out. Second is Burn-Marshall's technique. In Burn-Marshall's, what you're supposed to do is, you're supposed to, maybe you can use it like this towel, and hold the baby like this, right? And then with this hand and with this hand, I'm going to grab both the feet. Now my assistant should come and give suprapubic pressure. This pressure is not like this. It is always like this, and firm pressure, and it is not phasic. It is a continuous firm pressure to keep the head flexed, right? So, and this is, maybe this can be held like this, baby can be held like this by one towel, and then these hands are holding the 2 feet. Now I can take a short arc like this, but if I do this, there will be injury to atlantoaxial joint, right? So I'm supposed to take traction down and a long wide, one assistant should give perineal support here, right? So give perineal support nicely and control the delivery of head also, right? So I'm going to pull and take a long wide arc and deliver the head of the baby slowly. Okay, so this is how we are going to deliver the baby, right? So this is how it is delivered by Burn-Marshall technique. Then you are going to do delayed cord clamping, keep the baby in the baby tray, and then hand over the baby to pediatrician, right? Now another way of delivering the next technique is Mauricio-Smiley-Witt, in which you are going to rest the baby on your forearm, like we are sitting on a horse, like a straddle, right? And then this left hand, non-dominant hand, should go right up to the malar prominences of the fetus. That means my hand has gone up to the face of the baby on the malar prominences, right? These two fingers are supposed to go on the malar prominences like this. So it will go here, right? And the baby is on the same hand, resting on the same hand. So this hand has gone right up to the face of the baby. This assistant is going to give suprapubic pressure, firm, and then this hand, the non-dominant hand, will go on the shoulder. So it is jaw flexion. With my left hand, this hand, I am pulling the malar prominences downward so that the flexion is maintained, and at the same time she is giving suprapubic pressure to maintain the flexion, to exaggerate the flexion, and this hand is used to give traction. So again the arc has to be taken, so jaw flexion and shoulder traction, right? So this is how the head will be delivered in a controlled fashion, right? So this is called as Mauricio-Smiley-Witt technique. So it is easy to remember. If there are two names, there are going to be two procedures. Like that means if it is a Burn-Marshall technique, you are taking a wide arc. Burn-Marshall means two names are there. So Burn and Marshall, isn't it? So there are two maneuvers. One is suprapubic pressure, and you are just taking a wide arc, right? In Mauritius Millivet, there are three things which you are doing. You are giving suprapubic pressure, and then you are doing, see my hand was here, left hand, right? So I was doing like this. So I was just pressing it down, malar prominences, so that I could increase the flexion, right? So it was like this. My hand went right up to, just resume karo. हो रहा है recording, ठीक है. So it will flex the head like more, right? And it was shoulder traction like this. So jaw flexion, shoulder traction, and suprapubic pressure. So 3 names, 3 procedures, 2 names, 2 procedures. So this is how you are going to do the assisted breech delivery, right? So let us now practice.